In today's video, I'm going to be covering some Medicare Part D changes for 2024 that you need to know. And not knowing these changes could cost you, the Medicare beneficiary, hundreds and even thousands of dollars. What is up, friends? Rob here, the Medicare Minister with Agape Insurance and Financial Group in North Mississippi. And today we're going to take a deep dive into the 4 stages of your Medicare Part D plan and discuss some changes that you need to be aware of. So let's start with the first stage, and that is the deductible stage. And the deductible associated with most Part D plans is an annual deductible, which means if I take certain types of medications, it's going to trigger that deductible, and me or you, the Medicare beneficiary, is going to have to pay 100% of that in this particular stage. Now, the good news is not every tier of drug activates or triggers the deductible. So if you're on lower, what I call maintenance generic drugs, drugs for like blood pressure, like lisinopril, losartan, or amlodipine, or maybe you have high cholesterol and you're on some type of statin drug like atorvastatin or simvastatin drug, or maybe you're diabetic and you're on metformin. Those are all generic drugs that will never trigger the deductible on most drug plans. But this is the reason it's important that you deal with a seasoned advisor to review all of your medications, because not getting this right could cost you a lot of money. Now, Tier 1, Tier 2 drugs, once again, on most plans are not going to trigger this $545 annual deductible. All right, let's jump over into the next phase, and that is the initial coverage stage. And for most plans, it's going to cover Tier 1 through Tier 5. Some plans may have a Tier 6 category, but it's not common. Now, during this phase, you, the Medicare beneficiary, the member of this plan, pays 25%, and the plan pays 75% up to the amount of $5,030. That's the max out-of-pocket amount here in this stage for 2024, and you stay in this stage until that amount is met. During this stage, there are set copays depending on the tier of the drug. It's also important to note that going to a preferred pharmacy over a standard pharmacy makes a difference as well. Preferred pharmacies are going to be more of your big box pharmacies, like the Krogers or the Walmarts, the Sam's Clubs, the Publix, and many more across the country. Your standard pharmacies are going to be more of your local homegrown pharmacies. And so while there's nothing wrong with using local pharmacies, you definitely want to make sure that there's not going to be that much cost difference associated with your drugs, especially if you're taking quite a few drugs. Now, here's one change for the better. That's going to be good news for 2025, that the Inflation Reduction Act is mandating that all drug plans have a max out-of-pocket of $2,000 in 2025. So that's going to be a positive change for next year. Now, it's important to note as well that the majority of Medicare beneficiaries will never get out of this initial coverage stage. And so that means that most of you watching this won't have to worry about this, but it's something that we need to bring up. Now, if you are getting value out of this video so far, please take a moment to hit the like button for us. Give us some feedback below and subscribe to this. That way you're notified every time we drop fresh content like this. Plus, it helps us help more Medicare beneficiaries like yourself. Now, let's go to the third stage, and that is the coverage gap, also known as the donut hole stage. In the donut hole, your total cost of drugs, what you pay and what the carrier pays, is all the way up to $8,000. So you, the member, pay 25%. Once again, the carrier pays 75% until you meet that max out-of-pocket, or that total out-of-pocket reaches $8,000. That is the amount for 2024. Now, the next stage, known as the catastrophic stage, is a stage where you, the beneficiary, according to some new changes from some legislation passed last year, Now you pay 0%. In previous years, you paid 5%. So once again, you pay 0% for all of your covered medications. I can't stress that enough. You want to make sure that your medications are in the formulary, but you pay 0% and the plan pays the rest. And generally, if you fall into this stage, it means that you will stay in this stage for the rest of the year. Now, it's important to bring up insulin here at the very end, and the Insulin Senior Savings Program caps insulin that are covered in that plan's formulary at $35 for a 30-day supply, regardless of what stage you're in. I want to highlight they must be in your carrier's formulary. Another thing that I will bring up real quickly as we close out this video today is that you want to make sure that you review your drug plan every single year. These drug plans are one-year contracts, and they could change co-insurance or co-pays on you. They could change the tier of the drug, or they could kick the drug out of the formulary altogether. So this is why you want to make sure you review that every single year. If you do not have someone to help you with all of this, please call the number on the screen. Myself or one of our seasoned advisors would be more than happy to review all of that for you at no cost or no obligation to you. We work in most states, but if we're not in your state for whatever reason, we partner across the country with seasoned Medicare advisors that we trust that we can refer you to. One final thing that I believe deserves to be brought up in this video is if you believe that, hey, I can't even afford my drugs like they are. They're too expensive. I don't bring home that much money, and you believe you fall into that lower income category, then you'll want to consider applying for extra help, or what's known as LIS, low income subsidy, because it could help pay for your drug plan altogether. If you're on a separate Part D plan, it could pay your premium for you. It could wipe out your deductible for you. And then it could also cap your drugs at a very affordable cost for you, the Medicare beneficiary. The easiest way to apply is simply to call Social Security, or once again, you can call the number on the screen. Myself or one of our advisors will help you apply over the phone at no cost or no obligation to you. And then I'll also have Social Security's website where you can go apply for extra help online if you're pretty tech savvy in the video description below. Well, I pray that you got some value out of this video today. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next video.